Stay calm, stay powerful, how to master your emotions in chaos. There's one thing that separates people who fall apart when life gets hard from the people who rise above it and keep moving forward. It's not intelligence. It's not money. It's not even luck. It's emotional control. When life goes crazy, when people disrespect you, when plans fall apart, when everything feels like it's on fire, your greatest weapon is your ability to stay calm. But let's be real. It's not easy. Your boss yells at you. Your partner accuses you of something unfair. Your plans fall through at the last minute. And boom, you snap. You shut down. You overreact. You say things you don't mean. You act in ways that don't even feel like you. Then later you regret it. You wish you handled it differently. You replay the moment in your head 100 times. And that's when it hits you, you weren't in control. Your emotions were. So how do we stop letting chaos control us? How do we stay calm when everything feels overwhelming? How do we keep our power when our feelings want to explode? Let's talk straight. The first thing you need to understand is this: you are not your emotions. Let me say that again. You are not your emotions. Emotions are real. Emotions are powerful. But they are not always true. They are not always right. And they are not always useful. Just because you feel something doesn't mean it's a fact. You can feel rejected when no one rejected you. You can feel attacked when no one's attacking. You can feel hopeless when you're actually just exhausted. But if you don't learn how to pause and check those emotions before reacting, they'll wreck your peace, your relationships, your future. See, emotions are like waves. They rise, they crash, and then they pass. The mistake people make is trying to surf those waves without a board. So they panic, they scream, they throw blame, they shut down. And in doing that, they give their power away. But calm people, emotionally strong people, they feel the same waves, but they don't let the waves carry them away. They breathe, they pause, they respond, not react. So let's make this practical. Next time you feel triggered by a person, a message, a problem, pause for 10 seconds. That's it. Just 10 seconds. Take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This tiny pause rewires your brain. It tells your body, we are not in danger. We are in control. Because when you feel emotional, your brain sends out panic signals. But when you breathe slowly and consciously, it sends a new message: we've got this. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need to lash out to be strong. You don't need to prove anything when you're calm. Calm is confidence. Calm is control. Calm is your superpower. But let's be honest, some people don't want you calm. They want you emotional. Because emotional people are easier to control. That's why certain people push your buttons. They know what to say. They know how to twist your words, raise their voice, and make you react. And when you explode, they get to say, see, you're the problem. But when you stay calm, when you breathe and respond instead of reacting, they lose their power. They look foolish. They can't drag you into the storm. So don't give them that satisfaction. Let your silence speak. Let your calmness confuse them. Let your peace protect your power. Because here's the thing. Life will not always be peaceful. But you can be. Your emotions don't have to control your mouth. They don't have to control your choices. They don't have to control your future. Let me ask you something. Have you ever said something in anger that you wish you could take back? Of course you have. Because in the heat of the moment, logic shuts off. You stop thinking. You start reacting. And when the moment passes, all you're left with is regret. You apologize. You explain. You promise to do better. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can learn to feel the fire without letting it burn down everything in your life. You can be angry but not disrespectful. You can be hurt but not destructive. You can be stressed but not chaotic. That's emotional maturity. And emotional maturity isn't about being perfect. It's about recognizing when your feelings are rising and choosing not to let them take over. It's about saying, yes, I'm upset, but I'm still in control. It's about learning how to pause, breathe, reflect, and then respond with intention. Because if you don't master your emotions, someone else will use them to master you. So what does staying calm look like in real life? It looks like not replying to that nasty text right away. It looks like walking away from a heated argument instead of escalating it. It looks like taking a break when you're overwhelmed instead of quitting everything. It looks like saying, let me think about it, instead of making decisions under pressure. It looks like emotional discipline. And discipline is hard. But the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. And that's the key: practice. Emotional control is a muscle. If you never train it, you'll always be a slave to your feelings. But if you work it out, every day, every situation, every moment, you get stronger. And soon, things that used to trigger you no longer shake you. Someone insults you? You don't need to react. You know who you are. Someone lies about you? You don't need to correct everything. The truth will surface. Life throws a curveball? You don't fall apart. You adjust. That's power. That's maturity. That's peace. Here's a truth most people don't want to admit. Calm people win. In relationships, calm people are respected. In business, calm people make smart decisions. In conflict, calm people lead. In chaos, calm people are trusted. Because people are drawn to stability. They feel safe around it. They follow it. They remember it. You don't have to raise your voice to make an impact. Sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one who says the least but sees the most. Now let's talk about triggers. Everyone has triggers. No shame in that. But if your triggers run your life, you're always going to be reactive, not intentional. You've got to know what sets you off. What words? What situations? What environments? What patterns from the past? And once you know your triggers, you can start reprogramming your response. Instead of letting someone push you, you recognize what's happening. Oh, this reminds me of when I felt powerless. Oh, this is making me feel rejected like before. Oh, I'm not actually mad, I'm scared. That self-awareness is your protection. Because now you can respond with clarity, not confusion. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means managing them with wisdom. It means giving your emotions a voice, but not a steering wheel. You can cry and still move forward. You can feel deeply and still make strong decisions. You can be vulnerable and still be powerful. Don't let this world convince you that calm equals weak. No, calm is dangerous. Calm is untouchable. Calm is clarity in the storm. You ever see someone get disrespected and they just smile and say, okay? Not because they're weak, but because they don't let nonsense touch their peace? That's strength. You ever see someone lose everything and still move with grace and focus? That's power. Not the kind that screams. The kind that radiates. So if your life feels chaotic right now, I want to tell you something. You don't need to control the storm. You just need to control yourself. That's where your freedom is. That's where your strength is. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. Every moment you choose calm, you build the life you want. Every time you respond instead of reacting, you protect your peace. Every time you breathe instead of break, you grow stronger. So don't wait for life to get easier. Train yourself to get calmer. Because calm people don't just survive chaos, they lead through it.